need. Give me what I want that speed.
Live from the world's most famous race course in the crossroads of America, we welcome you to today's NESRN coverage of the Hoosier Brickyard 500, race 24 of the 2026 season of the NR2003 Mission BBQ Cup Series. Hi, hello, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful backdrop today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as once again, welcome to today's Intercast on your home for the NBCS, the North American Sim Racing Network. My name is Trey Wright, and a mere 4 races are all that remain in the 2026 regular season. 2 super speedways and 2 oblong intermediate tracks, and we're at the first of those 2 super speedways today for 500 miles here at the Brickyard. Well, things have changed drastically in between the last 2 races for the NBCS, and today's race is peculiar for being in the middle of a 5-week island period. By that we mean it's been 2 weeks since our last Cup race. It'll be 3 more before our next one up in Wisconsin at the Old Spice Raceway right in the middle of August. But even though some of the NBCS drama will have a chance to cool off during the Great American Big One festivities this week, as well as with the FMGTC Busch Summer Bash race in Michigan in 2 weeks, we're still in the home stretch for the NBCS regular season, and looking at the standings with 4 races to go, while nobody is mathematically locked into the chase just yet, a few drivers are nearing that mark. In particular, Alex Sanvitale has a nearly full race's worth of points lead over Bryce Egan. Sanvitale, Egan, Zachary Fitzwater, Matthew Huber, and Daniel Bouchard all looking relatively comfortable so far going into this final 4-race stretch. But down the order in the bottom half of the top 10, 2 drivers with multiple wins sit just inside that mark as of right now, but could fall out and cause a little bit of trouble. One of those being the 34 of Dano Georgi, who has had 3 consecutive finishes outside the top 30, and that has plummeted that 34 team down to only 48 points above the cut line with 4 races left, as both himself and Riley Sampson currently caboose the chase grid, but both have some sort of safety net with their 2 wins on the season. Right now, though, Eric Monaco holds on to the second wildcard spot with his Pocono win, while Brandon Wilmington, with his 2 wins on the season, still clings on to the first wild card. But many new drivers have entered the conversation for not only the wild card, but also potentially pointing their way into the chase as well. Russell Blaze finally got his first career NBCS win 2 weeks back in Chicagoland, and he's tied with the 14 of Keegan Thompson for 13th in the standings, only 111 points behind the cut line. He does start 41st on the grid today, but he'll be one to watch this afternoon. Same thing with the 18 of Angel Gutierrez, who's now 75 back at the cut line with his 4 consecutive top 15s to rise to the ranks. That 18 machine not only looking to complete his first Brickyard 500, he is looking for another top 15 finish to have a chance at Hail Marying his way into the chase for the Cup over these next 4 weeks. Like we've been saying, we've got 4 races left to shake things out, but today is certainly going to be the most chaotic in this final quartet. Contrary to popular belief, Indianapolis has always been one of the most destructive races on the NBCS circuit, and statistically has been one of the hardest races for drivers to finish. Of the 206 total entries over the last 5 races here at the Brickyard, nearly half of those cars have failed to make the complete distance, whether it be 400 miles or 500, and some of the wrecks we have seen have been really gruesome to say the least. Jordan Lopez's brutal flip in 2021 comes to mind, same with Roberto Crown Jr. and Nathan Stapleton's brutal flips from 2022, and Michael Lewis going side over side, barrel rolling down the back straightaway here 1 year ago. Survival is going to be paramount for these drivers this afternoon with the close quarters of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and historically this race has been a turning point in terms of who makes the chase, who's going to survive today's race. It's time to embark on the final quartet of the regular season, which means it's also time to turn them on and grid them up. We send things down trackside for the most famous words in motorsports to fire the engines here in the Hoosier State for the Hoosier Brickyard 500.
Drivers, start your engines!
We're back home in Indiana as the engines fire to life here on the front straightaway of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're ready to rock and roll for 500 miles here at the Brickyard. Starting on the pole position, a driver that has loved this racetrack, whether it be a 400-mile race or a 500-mile race. Ryan Durrani has got 2 wins here at the Brickyard, and he starts on the pole position in that Amazon Prime Video 86 car. To his outside, we're talking about Roberto Crown Jr., that hard crash he had here back in 2022. He'll start on the outside pole, and we'll see if this year's Indianapolis 250 winner can add a Brickyard 500 trophy to his trophy case here today. He starts on the outside of the front row. Mateus Bento looking for another good top 10 run after a solid top 10 run 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland. He's got Alexander Rowe to his outside for row number 2. Carson Miller and Zachary Fitzwater will round out the starting 6 here on the grid today. And all 42 cars. Thundering out of turn number 2 for the parade lap. There's Reggie Fogelman starting shotgun on the grid in that Diet Coke 3 machine, your national winner from earlier on. And your most recent winner, we were talking about him during the pre-race, Russell Blaze, looking for a second win here in these next 4 races to really blow up things in terms of the regular season fight for the chase for the championship. The field will enter turn number 3, the South Chute, which has historically been one of the more chaotic portions of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in seasons past. We talked about it during qualifying yesterday, but looking at the previous winners of this race, it reads like a book of NBCS legends. Nathan Stapleton, Owen Miles, Ryan Durrani, a 2-time winner at the Brickyard, and of course the 14 of Keegan Thompson, all looking to return to victory lane here today. And most recent winner here at the Brickyard looking for his 3rd win in Speedway, Indiana. He starts the best of anybody as the pace car is down the pit lane. Las Vegas' own Ryan Durrani will lead the field towards the race's restart zone. Here we go. Green flag is out and away. 4 races left in the regular season. Durrani gets the jump. He leads him to the yard of bricks for green flag racing at the Brickyard. Side by side for the race lead, heading into turn number 3 for the opening time. Here comes Mateus Bento in that 71 car, looking underneath Ryan Durrani, who got a decent start off the race. Off the jump in that 86 car, trying to utilize the outside lane as they hammer off for home here, flashing past the pit lane and heading off towards the yard of bricks for the first time under speed. Durrani will pick up exactly where he left off from 1 year ago. Will lead the opening lap of the 500. Back through here, Carson Miller starting to bob and weave his way as he started on the outside of row number 3 in that 6th position. Zachary Fitzwater now starting to lose a little bit of ground. Same thing with Mateus Bento. And historically here at Indianapolis, the first 5 laps have been a really good indicator on how this race is going to behave. 3 wide going through turn number 3. Sarah Taylor will back off there for a brief moment. And now we are going to get 3 wide. Braden Perez starting to get aggressive off turn 4. Again, this is a new version of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway that we're using in Season 6. A little bit narrower, a little bit more gripped up here at the Brickyard. These drivers already beginning to try and figure things out. Roberto Crown Jr., he's making some contact with Igor Barreto. Barreto thundered his way to make it 3 wide through the corner, and already these drivers testing out the limits of this track. Bumping a little bit down the back straightaway here at Indianapolis, and meanwhile up at the front, we did not even talk about him whatsoever during the pre-race. The 17 of Logan Williams started in 9th. He's made his way up to 2nd. Right behind the 86 of Ryan Durrani, Carson Miller in 3rd, and Esteban Lacer will round out the top 4. And all these drivers still jockeying for positions in the top 5, or the rather 10th on back here. There's Angel Gutierrez in that 18 machine, another previous winner of the Indianapolis 250, as the defending winner of that race from earlier this season, Roberto Crown Jr., stuck a little bit on the outside lane in that 21 car. Field thunders off once again down the back straightaway, and Crown Jr. starting to really fade off here in that 21 machine early on. And top 5 have all really spread themselves out as battle for the race lead. Logan Williams to the forefront. Carson Miller is going to go along with him, and Durrani will likely fall back into the 3rd position after all that is said and done. Williams at the stripe. He'll get a lap lead. That'll be 5 bonus points desperately needed for the driver, currently 16th in the standings coming into Indianapolis today. Carson Miller, Riley Sampson, don't look now. Sampson has been on an absolute warpath over these last 2 months. 2 wins in the Duncan month of speed have brought him up to 10th in the standings after a solid top 10 around the Chicagoland Speedway. He is looking for a top 5 run, would be his fifth top 5 finish of the day, or of the season, if he's able to get it here today. And Braden Perez just coming up 1 position short of snapping a nearly 100 race-long winless streak in that 92 car. He's moving his way up inside the top 5. Same thing with Esteban Lasser. Lasser looking for his second top 5 finish of the season. Thinking about making it 3 wide as Carson Miller will drop back a little bit in that 10 car. Bento, Barreto, Owen Miles, winner of this race from 5 years ago. All trying to make some hay. Same thing with 14 of Keegan Thompson. Talked about it here. The only driver not inside the top 15 that is a defending winner here is Nathan Stapleton, who is still marred relatively towards the back along with Alex Sambatale. Sambatale didn't get the best of qualifying results yesterday afternoon, I should say. Yesterday morning, we'll finally get the time of day figured out there, but Sambatale starting to make his way up through the grid a little bit. Same thing with Russell Blaze. Blaze started in 41st in this last time by. He is going to climb his way up to 29th. Right behind Sambatale and Cole Sampson. Sampson, who is looking for his second ever finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Of the 5 times he has raced here at the Brickyard, 4 of them have ended up in DNFs. The only time that he has managed to finish a race, he finished in 3rd back in the 2021 race to Owen Miles and Caleb Rose. Back through here and back towards the front end of the grid. It's still Logan Williams leading. Carson Miller bobbling a little bit there off 4. And Riley Sampson with a nice run off the back end of the 86 car as we've got 7 laps in the books here at the Brickyard. Great pass for the 24, and Sampson will easily navigate himself around the pole sitter of Durrani. Durrani now trying to get him back there in that 86 car. You're on board with the Amazon Prime Fusion as he's got a big run coming. We'll take you for a lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Williams still holding on for the time being as the packed crowd of fans here. When there's support for these drivers, rumbling around, racing around. Logan Williams starting to be clawed back into by these 2 leaders. Williams, Riley Sampson, Ryan Durrani, your podium. 8 laps now in the books. Stages ending every 15 laps here, and Ryan Durrani getting a good look off the front end of that 86 car. You look as Riley Sampson looking to potentially take the points lead, the race lead away from Logan Williams. Top 3 have all pulled away from Braden Perez and company. Bento currently caboose in the top 5. Keegan Thompson has made his way back up through the grid for your 2022 winner, 2024 winner of this event. Nearly getting into the quarter panel of that 71 car. We approach the end of stage number 1 here in the next 6 laps or so, and don't want to say anything just yet, but got 9 laps in the books. First 5 laps were relatively incident-free. We did have a couple of instances of drivers running into one another, but no caution flags just yet, and everybody looking really racy out here. Brandon Wilmington, another defending champion of the Indianapolis 250, currently bookending things as he will get around Matthew Hubert's Zin Machine as both Vision Motorsports cars struggling on the early portions here at Indianapolis. Be 5th of the way through the Hoosier Brickyard 500 this time by. Top 3 still all in line with one another, and Logan Williams will lead lap number 7 of the event. Here comes Riley Sampson. He's got a run going into turn number 1. Where will Ryan Durrani go? Durrani's going to stick up high. It's not going to matter as Riley Sampson will maneuver himself around the Hershey's Dodge of Logan Williams for the race lead. Logan looking for the crossover, however. He's just going to tuck back in line. Ryan Durrani will say, if you're not going to play, pass the controller, bro. But he's not going to get enough of a run on the 17, or will he? He's going to force the 17 offline. They're side by side for second. And again, you look at the manufacturer diversity. We've got a Chevrolet leading, a Ford and a Dodge battling for second. That's going to bring in the Toyota of Braden Perez into this fold. A lot of Toyotas inside the top 10 right now with Bradley Ream starting to thunder his way through. Dano Georgi also beginning to make some hay, nearly 3 wide as Daniel Bouchard, a Daytona 500 champion, will make his way inside the top 15. And everybody has begun to get really spread out. Owen Miles in the middle of 3 wide. This could get dicey going around through the corner. On board with Russell Blaze, most recent winner here in the MVCS, and they'll figure out the 3 wide situation. Big draft off the back end of Bruno Diacomo. Diacomo will slide out the track, and Blaze has to dump out of the gas in order to not run in the back of the 79. Alex Lozano nor Aaron able to make anything around those 2 drivers, and Blaze will continue to cut his way through the grid up to 27th now in that 29 car. It's Roberto Crown Jr., the outside pole sitter, firmly back in 19th. It doesn't look like he's going to take advantage of any stage points here today. And Ryan Durrani, I don't know what happened to that 86 car, but he is way away from where we last saw him. We saw him in 3rd the last time we checked in the front of the field, and he's going to fall all the way out. Same thing with Riley Sampson, as a big run coming from Barreto, Perez, and Thompson. Durrani is going to get shoved out of the top 5. He might fall outside of the opportunity to earn some crucial stage points at this rate in the game. But Logan Williams desperately needs stage points here, and he is driving like he needs them here with 2 laps to go in the opening stage of the afternoon. Caution free so far here at Indianapolis. Big run coming for Riley Sampson, and that's something we're noticing out of these drivers, as they are getting massive runs heading down these long, over half a mile straightaways here, or nearly a mile long straightaways here at Indianapolis. And Daniel Bouchard making it aggressive, trying to get to the quarter panel of Dano Georgi. Unsuccessful for the time being, and that might cost him a position as Mateus Bento was dropped back. Final lap of the opening stage of the day. Here comes Riley Sampson back around the 17 of Williams. Keegan Thompson trying to take advantage. He's going to dump out of the gas a little bit too. We'll see what Williams is able to do, and with this version of Indianapolis, cars have got a lot more grip, they've got a lot more downforce, and they're able to make some really good bonsai passes. Williams shoves up the 24 offline. See what Keegan Thompson can do. He's another driver, same thing with Barreto, that desperately needs stage points. Sampson's not going to be able to get Logan Williams back as they cross the yard of bricks once again. And the opening stage of the afternoon will go to the Wisconsin of Logan Williams. Final stage points at the line, I believe, are going to be going to Alexander Rowe. Or Angel Gutierrez will get the official running order here in a moment, and it's going to be Dano Georgi who will just get those final stage points. Actually, it's going to be Wyatt Walker. Timing and scoring updated the lap count on my monitor, but they didn't update the position, so Wyatt Walker will move up into the 10th position. Right now, the only rookie that has not won a race here in 2026. Start of this race in the 16th position is +6 on the day so far. And back at the front, these guys have been really gathering these leaders back in, as we might have a solid 5, maybe 6-way battle for the race lead coming here soon. Sarah Taylor, first time we talked about that 45 car here at nauseum today. Keegan Thompson looking to become the second multi-time winner here at Indianapolis. And again, we talked about Ryan Durrani. Finished outside the top 5 in that last stage. He was in 7th that last time by, but he has closed back in as Logan Williams outside the top 5. And they are really starting to cycle it out here a lot here at Indianapolis. I don't think I've seen any racing quite like this here at Indy, as we're 17 laps in the books. 16 laps in the books, I should say. Drawing a big run off his Appleseed Racing teammate in the car that he owns is Keegan Thompson. We're just going to see how much time Keegan is able to gain going down this long back straightaway here at Indy. He is gaining a lot of time. He's already gained about maybe a car length or two on the 24. He's going to gain another car length here coming through turn 3. I don't know what drafting package these guys have got here today, but it is certainly allowing them to slingshot each other like there is no tomorrow, and Sampson has already lost about 5 car lengths of a lead that he had on his teammate. And here comes Thompson down to the inside of that 24 machine. He'll bomb it down low. Sampson with the top lane, not able to do anything to try and help out. Now Igor Barreto under fire from the 45. Nothing you can really do to defend yourself here with these massive runs coming. And we aren't seeing these drivers really beginning to drag in like we see in the IndyCar circuit, as Sarah Taylor will move up into the 3rd position. That'll bring Igor Barreto back down into 4th, and meanwhile, back on the counterattack. That's the only way you're able to really gain any ground here, is on the counterattack. Crossing back over is Riley Sampson, back for the race lead. Appleseed Racing running 1-2. Sarah Taylor trying to get a win. Igor Barreto up in this battle as well. And with these two going side by side, Taylor's going to run right up on Keegan Thompson. Just about ran in the quarter panel that Viagra Monte Carlo. She's able to hold off hard charge in that 14 car in the rear end. And that will bring Igor Barreto back right on the rear end of this 45 car. Bradley Ream, Wyatt Walker, a couple more new faces inside the top 10. Same thing with Alexander Rowe, Mateus Bento, and right now, Zachary Fitzwater will round out the top dozen on the track. It's Riley Sampson still leading as we approach the midway point of this race already. It has been a fast-moving race here so far at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, here on the NASRN's coverage of the Mission BBQ Cup Series. If memory serves me right, this is the longest green flag run we've had here at Indianapolis in series history. And the only thing missing from Appleseed Racing having a clean sweep right now will be Cole Sampson, who's currently 41st on the grid, was last time by. Sarah Taylor trying to break up the Chevrolets, and not a whole lot of Chevrolets left in sight. Actually, you know, just as I say that, we got 2 Chevrolets up in here with Wyatt Walker and the 2 of Bradley Ream. Death Rider Racing have a solid day with Walker inside the top 10, looking for his 2nd top 10 finish of the season. Like we said, the only rookie without a driver. Actually, Walker's still looking for his first career top 5 finish in the Mission BBQ Cup Series. 4 top 10s on the season so far. We'll go back to where his teammate is, and again, cannot count out this guy just yet. Once you get that first win, you break through that glass ceiling, you get that monkey off your back, you do what you need to do, and Russell Blaze has been charging his way up through the grid. Like we said, started in 41st. He's going to pick up another spot here, getting around the 31 of Campbell Marsh. Campbell's going to get just slightly better run off the corner. He's going to be side by side with Mateus Bento. That right now is the battle for about 17th right now. And Blaze still cooking on that inside lane. He's been had the inside lane for the majority of this race, and there he goes. He'll finally get around the 31 of Marsh. Still a little bit midway towards this pack. Owen Miles, the 2021 victor of this race. Right now 14th at last time by, just behind Daniel Bouchard. And Corey Case, another driver we're talking about for the first time today. 8th in the standings, only 52 points above the cut line. He desperately needs a good run here today, and looking like that's going to be going in the right direction for him. But same thing with Logan Williams, desperately needs a good run, got some stage points that last time around. And here we go for the race lead. The 2 Appleseed teammates continue to dogfight. Riley Sampson has led 9 laps, and Keegan Thompson finally got a lap led that time around. So that brings Sampson back into the clutches of potentially being caught up to here by the 13 of Barreto. Barreto right now sitting 20th in the standings. He's another driver that needs some bonus points, but more importantly, he needs a 2nd win on the season to really make a stink in this wild card battle. Bradley Ream Another driver, he had 3 wins on the year last year, and he nearly got in the quarter panel of Barretto. That would have been big if those two got together right in front of the rest of the pack, as all kind of spread things out a little bit here. But that would have been big if those two will get together. Half a lap remaining until the halfway point here in Indianapolis. We have been caution-free so far. And already, we might be seeing green flag pit stops here relatively soon. These guys can go about 30 to 33 laps on a full tank of gas. And here comes Sampson. Not able to get enough of a run to take the lead back at the stripe, and that might cost him second here. Cross flags in the air, halfway home. Keegan Thompson out front looking for that second win of the year. And again, we talked about it. Now, Brandon Wilmington, he needs not only a couple of good runs, he needs other drivers that have won here already in 2026 to not have good runs. Talk about guys like Eric Monaco. Monaco has been nowhere to be found. He's currently 37th on the grid. But guys like Russell Blaze, Keegan Thompson, who he and Russell Blaze are both tied right now. And Keegan Thompson, he's only 111 points outside of the cut line right now. And Dano Georgi, he's running relatively solid right now inside the top 15. Actually, he's just outside the top 15. He might get a big run on Zachary Fitzwater down the front straightaway. He'll remain in 16th for now. But Georgia, a 16th place finish or even a 15th place finish, it's a lot better than another sub 30th place finish for that 34 team. But overall, Thompson, you look at him, he has lost the race lead. He's lost second as well. Here comes the 45. Getting around Barretto. Thompson will maneuver his way underneath the Bradley Ream. Gets on the quarter panel of that 2 car. Trying to slingshot around that 2 machine once again. And now everybody, we have got virtually this whole top 10 worth of drivers inside about a second of one another. You got to go back to Braden Perez, who's a little bit of a satellite on these guys, but the more that they're racing back and forth here, they're racing side by side. That is what's allowed these drivers to close in on one another. What a day it's been for Wyatt Walker. Just one position outside of the top 5 right now. He's currently in 8th that last time by. And again, got 2 laps to go in stage 2 this next time by. Everybody just racing as aggressive as humanly possible. And here comes Riley Sampson. With 22 laps to go, Sampson's going to pull the trigger to come down the pit lane. Does anybody else go with the undercut? They will not. So it's just going to be a normal pit stop for the 24 as he'll trundle down the pit lane here. And he's going to come down a lap 28, and it looks like he is going to flip the stage. Again, if you're Riley Sampson, stage points are nice, but you desperately want to get that win. We've seen the undercut play dividends here at Indianapolis before. We'll have to see if Keegan Thompson and everybody else will come down here on lap 29. And it looks like they will. Durrani's down the pit lane. Wyatt Walker will stay out to lead a lap, but here comes Keegan Thompson, and everybody heading down the pit lane for the most part. Feed-in time here with just before the final stage point, out trouble into the inside wall. Logan Williams somehow kept it straight. Rather, that was Logan Alexander, I should say. He and Matthew Hubert made contact, and significant front-end damage on that Strawberry Lemonade 58 Ford. We remain green, however. That could have been big, and that would have completely changed the complexion of this race. Durrani now just getting to his pit stall, as everybody will likely come down the pit lane here this next time around with 20 to go. And Riley Sampson catching these drivers. Bruno Giacomo and everybody else will come down here 2 laps later. These guys got to be careful migrating their way down the pit lane. This is a very tricky pit lane to get down. We've already seen one car going to the inside wall. Of course, they stayed out. It's Logan Alexander trundling his way around. Here comes everybody else. There is Keegan Thompson, and there is the 24 with a boatload of momentum. As we're on the final lap of stage 1. Actually, that was the final lap of stage 2, so Wyatt Walker is going to get the stage 2 win by flipping the stage. But Keegan Thompson on that medium cut, it looks like, I don't know. With 19 laps to go, there's Cole Sampson heading out. Everybody else heading out of the pit lane. Remember, they have to take the access road. Thompson blitzing around the majority of these drivers. Where's the 19? There's the 19 of Wyatt Walker, and Keegan Thompson will easily drive around the 19 machine. But remember, Wyatt Walker does have 1 lap fresher tires, and that historically means a lot here at Indianapolis. Logan Alexander has gone to the garage area with that damage. A tough break for the 58 machine. We apologize for saying Logan Williams' name. Williams still inside the top 10 for the time being. Russell Blaze trying to maneuver underneath of him, and he might get into the quarter panel. He nearly took the whole rocker panel off the side of that 17 car. And Blaze continuing to show that confidence, that newly minted confidence on that City Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And now with 19 laps to go, we've cycled out. And Keegan Thompson, who's led 6 laps on the day, your race leader by 1 1/4 second over Bradley Ream. However, how much are these guys are going to gain on one another? We have seen today the draft has been nothing short of paramount for these guys. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Riley Sampson. He does have 1 lap older tires than Bradley Ream, but he does have a little bit more momentum built up on that 24 compared to the 2. But if you're Keegan Thompson, you're looking for this win like there is no tomorrow. One of the oldest tenured drivers on the MVCS. Appleseed Racing has won so much here on the Mission Barbecue Cup Series circuit. They do have an Brickyard 400 victory. Actually, it was a Brickyard 500 victory back in 2024. Could they get another one here today with the boss man, Keegan Thompson? You know, and Bradley Ream, another driver, does not have a win yet here in 2026. And the last time by, he closed in by 1/4 second. He's probably going to be a lot more than 1/4 second closer to that 14 car this time by. We'll wait for timing and scoring to reset just to see, and he was a lot closer. He knocked off 0.4 seconds off the back end of that 14 car. Ladies and gentlemen, with 17 laps to go, this race is absolutely far from being completed. Look back in here, no real shuffling on the grid in terms of the green flag pit stops. I believe that's probably the first set of green flag pit stops we've seen in some time here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's hard to believe that we have been caution-free. We have not been incident-free. We do have 1 car out of the race via a crash with Alexander. But now, with 16 laps to go, these drivers, they're going to start getting absolutely uber aggressive. And again, we've been talking about him all day long, but Russell Blaze inside the top 10. He is in 8th. He's going to move up to 6th here with a couple of passes. He might move inside the top 5 along with the 19. Now, don't look now, but Death Rider Racing has been nothing short of incredible here over these last couple of weeks. And Wyatt Walker will now move up into 4th, and Russell Blaze will move into 5th. And the 2 DRR cars are going to be nose to tail right now with 15 laps to go. And Bradley Ream, meanwhile, has caught up to the race leader, Chevrolet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only problem is, are they going to battle it out amongst one another and let another manufacturer lead? But here comes Ream right underneath the 14 of Keegan Thompson. Hit the wrong button there for a brief moment We did not miss the pass for the race lead. Ream still trying to find a way around that 14. He will. Big run coming for Riley Sampson. He's looking to also slingshot around his boss. 14 laps to go, and Bradley Ream out front. You know what? We thought tire wear was going to mean a little bit here, but Riley Sampson on those 2-lap older tires than everybody else has still been able to make some magnificent moves, and he's got another big run brewing on the boss man of Keegan Thompson. But don't look now. Wyatt Walker was 2.5 seconds behind these guys that last time by. He's now closed in that gap by a second. He's 1.6 behind these 3 leaders right now. And this is going to be, you know what, it's going to be nothing short of an all-out brawl for this race win. Russell Blaze right behind his fellow teammate and his fellow rookie. Trying to push him up to the race lead. And how would that be for Wyatt Walker and Death Rider Racing if they're able to get 2 wins in a row as an organization? Blaze got the organization's first win 2 weeks ago. Wyatt Walker might be in a position to get their second win here, or Russell Blaze could get win number 2. And if Blaze gets the win, my goodness, that's going to completely... We thought that Riley Sampson winning that second race at Coca-Cola was going to nuke the chase grid. Russell Blaze getting a second win would completely obliterate things here. But you never know. They lost a little bit of time. They closed in by only 0.2 of a second that last time by, and I think they're going to lose a little bit of time here. But now you've got the 14, the 24. They're going to break sideways here. Side by side for second. That'll allow Ream to close in a little bit. You know what? I don't think lap traffic is going to be a factor. I don't think this race is long enough. I don't think Ream is quick enough, and I don't think Matthew Hubert is slow enough. But what a feel-good story this would be for Bradley Ream, who recently announced that this will be his final season with Chevy Power Racing here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Trying to get that organization their first ever win here at the Brickyard. But Keegan Thompson not done yet. He's got that teammate playing tail gunner right behind him. 11 circuits to go here at Indianapolis. And these drivers, they're going to be getting really, really aggressive. And the biggest question for these guys, do we get a yellow flag to bunch this field back up? I don't think we're going to need a yellow flag for these guys to get back together. Because Blaze, he is gaining a lot of ground. He gained in another 0.3 of a second off the back end of the 2 that last time by. I really think it's going to be an all-out war for this race win. You come down to about maybe 5 laps to go. In the next 5 laps, I think Blaze, Williams, Barretto, and Walker, they're going to be all on top of these top 3 guys, especially if they continue to battle side by side. We are going to have one heck of a battle here with 10 laps to go in the Menards Brickyard 500. That last time by would have been the point where Bradley Ream would have won here a couple of years ago, back when it was a 400-mile event. Keegan Thompson rapidly closing in on his fellow Monte Carlo. The Chevrolets still run 1, 2, 3, and 4. Logan Williams, talk about him. Another driver that needs a win in these next 4 races. He's likely going to need 2 wins. Same thing with Igor Barretto, needs a win. Logan Sport looking really strong as well. Daniel Bouchard currently under fire from Braden Perez, who is the lone Pacific Racing car inside the top 15 right now. In fact, inside the top 30 with Brenna Wilmington and Caleb Rose both outside the top 30 right now. Corey Case in good need of a top 10 run. Same thing with Sarah Taylor. Thomas Troxel, another driver inside the top 20, looking for a solid run. He's currently in 12th that last time by. 9 laps to go, and Riley Sampson, he was passed by Russell Blaze, so we didn't even need 5 laps of these guys to all get with one another. Here we go. Ream still holding on strong for the time being, and Keegan Thompson just trying to play, a 2-front war right now, but that 29 car, I don't know what it is with Russell Blaze, but he has been able to absolutely be on rails. He's got to run to the inside of Thompson. We'll think better of it for now. 8 laps to go. you know what? For a lot of these drivers, they're going to have to start treating this like a super speedway race because you don't want to make your move too early and peek down to the inside because this has been an inside lane dominated race for the most part. Here comes Thompson. Big run coming on the 2 machine. Ream throws the block on the inside. That's going to force a 29 out high. Here comes Riley Sampson once again. Oh, Igor Barreto had to check up a lot. That'll open things up for Logan Williams as they flash towards the yard of bricks here. Sampson with a run. That's going to force Thompson on the outside lane. Sampson will take second away, and Blaze will begin to fall back a little bit in the 29. They're going to make it 3 wide. How about the 2-for-1 Saturday special in turn 2 for Daniel Bouchard? He's going to surpass both Death Rider Racing Chevrolets, and that'll move the 07 inside the top 6. Bouchard, another driver that desperately needs a good run here today. Looking like it right now. Braden Perez not done yet. Same thing with the 63 of Corey Case. But it looks like it's going to be Chevrolet versus Dodge here for the win. Ford completely out of the picture right now. Angel Gutierrez, the highest running Ford right now, just outside of the top 10 in 12th. I don't think there's going to be enough time for him to get back up here. Sampson not done yet. Again, you look at the leaders we have had today. 5 different leaders in this race, all relatively even. Bradley Ream just leading his 10th lap the last time by. Riley Sampson's led 10 laps already. Same thing with Keegan Thompson, and they're going to be battling once again. Big run coming for Igor Barreto. Not going to handle onto it yet. 3 Chevrolets, 3 Dodges, 6 cars in line, coming to 5. Count them, 5 laps to go. Big run coming here for everybody. Riley Sampson out front by about 4 lengths. Is that going to be a little too far out there for the 24? Daniel Bouchard driving like a madman, trying to get that second win of the season. Logan Williams looking for a win. Bradley Ream going from a hero to a 0, falling way outside of the top 5. That's going to bring Braden Perez and maybe even Corey Case in this battle. Don't count out that 63 car, folks. I don't think we've ever seen racing like this here at Indianapolis in my lifetime, especially here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Sampson, just about 10 miles away from a 3rd win on the season. Is he too far out? 4 to go. If these guys want to catch that 24 car, they've got to get organized. And Matthew Hubert, lo and behold, you know, we might actually get lap down traffic playing a factor here with Hubert way in the way of these drivers. Now everybody getting reorganized in line. If you're Keegan Thompson, you know, you want to get greedy, but you also know that Riley Sampson has been one of the hottest drivers as of recently, and you know what they say about hot drivers going into the chase? They have such a great chance to win the championship. Igor Barreto desperately needing a win. Keegan Thompson desperately needs a win as well. Sarah Taylor and Corey Case have also gotten back up into this battle. But these guys just aren't organized enough to get back up right behind that 24. The 14 and the 13 are going to be able to get up there. I don't know about Bouchard as he nearly gets run over. Bradley Ream getting aggressive underneath the 07. And Braden Perez has clawed his way from running in 10th for the majority of this run. He is up to 4th. Does he have enough time to get up here with these leaders? Riley Sampson has been the most dominant car of the day. Igor Barreto he doesn't have any laps led yet today, but a big run coming. The 13 pushing the 14 with 5 miles remaining. Sticks high in the air. 2 laps to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sampson got that 14 car. The Jaws theme is playing. Keegan Thompson very hungry to get a win. That 2nd win of the season for your Atlanta winner. I think Braden Perez, Bradley Ream, and Logan Williams, they might be out of the fight here. Williams just desperately looking for a solid run here today. But you got 3 drivers all desperate for a win. A third win here today would essentially lock Riley Sampson in the chase. Keegan Thompson and Igor Barreto getting wins that would completely change things up here. Big run coming for the 14. The 13 car will stick with him. White flag in the air. One more time around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Here comes Riley Sampson and Keegan Thompson going to the inside. Sampson shuts the door on the 14 car. Keegan's probably going to have one more shot to build up a run down the back straightaway on this 24 with about half a lap remaining here at Indianapolis. Barreto trying to shove that 14 car back up front. Here comes Barreto down to the inside of the 14. That might be all that does it. I think that's going to be it. Barreto looking underneath Keegan Thompson for second place. A big run coming for Braden Perez. They might be 3 wide coming to the stripe here for the second position, but off turn 4. Win number 3 on the season. Australia's Riley Sampson cannot be stopped. He is your winner of the Hoosier Brickyard 500. What a last month and a half it has been for that Peak 24 team. 3 wins in 6 starts. 3 wins in 5 races, I should say. They've got their 3rd win of the season. They'll tie Zachary Fitzwater for the most here in 2026. And Appleseed Racing will go 1-2. Goodness gracious. The sheer domination of this 24 team. He led the most laps here tonight. And you know what? We talked about it when he came down the pit lane first. That he was going to sacrifice that stage win for the greater good of the race, and that's exactly what he did. Braden Perez in the top 5 finish. Bradley Ream with a top 5. Logan Williams a much-needed top 10 finish, but he is going to need a couple of wins here in these final 3 races. Corey Case, Daniel Bouchard, and Wyatt Walker round out the top 10. And what a race. I really thought Keegan Thompson was going to get the run going into turn 1. And he did get the run, but Riley shutting the door on his owner to claim his 3rd win of the season. Braden Perez and Bradley Ream round out the top 5 like we're talking about. Logan Williams, Sarah Taylor, Daniel Bouchard, Corey Case, and Wyatt Walker, the top 10. Russell Blaze falling outside the top 10, but it's still an incredible run for that 29 team. Same thing with Angel Gutierrez. It's funny, both drivers, we talked about needing good points days here today in the pre-race show. Have fantastic points days. Daniel Georgi, Esteban Lacer, and Ryan Durrani round out the top 15. And for the first time in NBC's history here at Indianapolis, we made such a big deal about how chaotic and destructive this race has been. No caution flags on the day, only one retiree with Logan Alexander getting turned by Matthew Huber down the front straightaway. The caution flag did not fly because they both kept it straight. And that was, in a word, incredible. Here at Indianapolis, what incredible racing we had here today, and Riley Sampson able to weather the storm to get win number 3 on the season, his 3rd win in 5 starts like we were talking about. And oh boy, that is really going to change things up here in the standings, especially where everybody got, because Daniel Bouchard, he got a solid top 10 finish. That's going to help him out a lot. I think Matthew Hubert is in desperate need of a 2nd win here in these next couple of weeks. He's going to be in that Logan Williams territory. Or rather, I think he's probably going to be in that Danny Fallington territory. We didn't talk about Danny Fallington at all today. He finished in 22nd. But oh my goodness gracious, we are going to have a lot to talk about here over these next 2 weeks in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, with our longest break of the season, a 3-week break between today's race at Indianapolis and our next race at the Old Spice Raceway. Of course, we've got a ton of festivities coming up here on the MBCS. We've got the 2026 NR2003 Great American Big One festivities coming up. We've got the Busch Summer Bash from Michigan for the FMGTC, the first ever race on an oval here on the FMGTC. That is all coming up down the pipeline. But that is going to do it here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Congratulations once again to Riley Sampson for winning the Hoosier Brickyard 500. Like we're talking about, we're off for the next 2 weeks, and during that stretch, the NR2003 Great American Big One qualifiers and main event will all be here on the NASRN this upcoming week. The the Northeast and the Southwest qualifiers will be on Tuesday, and the Southeast and Northwest qualifiers will be on Thursday. And this upcoming Saturday night down in Talladega, Alabama, will be the 2026 running of the NR2003 Big One after we figure out who will all make the dance. And that is all coming here on the North American Sim Racing Network. And of course, the festivities, the qualifying sessions, the qualifying races, and the 8th race of the season for the Busch Summer Bash from the Michigan International Speedway for the Flowmaster Grand Touring Championship. That'll be coming up in 2 weeks' time here on the NESRN. And we're down to the final furlong of the regular season at our second new venue of the year here in 3 weeks. Coverage for the Old Spice 450 from the Old Spice Raceway gets underway at 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Saturday, August 5th, right here on your home for the NBCS, the NESRN. Thank you once again for tuning in to today's coverage of the NR2003 Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Here are your point standings after race 24 of the 2026 NBCS season. And from Speedway, Indiana, on behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright. Have a great evening, folks. We'll see you this week later on for the Great American Big One qualifiers and main event here on the NASRN.